Guys, you already know what time it is. Lightning Bauer and Ice Cream Queen are already in the chat, hyping us up. It's Super Bowl season. Let's hit the intro. Allied Rivals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name is A.J. Herschel, and I'm with my man, Cademan Bauer, here on the one and only Allied Rivals podcast. It's been 18 NFL weeks, 14 playoff teams, and we're down to a final two. Cade, how are you doing tonight?
I haven't been better. Never been better. It's
never
great.
In your life. You've never been better.
I probably have, but this is a special day. We're preparing for the Super Bowl, and you know it's going to be hype. It's the Allied Rivals.
Absolutely. We're super excited to be here. As y'all know, we've been pumping out videos for every single game. This is going to be our longest video, of course, because it's the Super Bowl. This is our longest preview that we're going to do, and we're both excited to bring it to you. If you're interested, please subscribe, like, comment, all the stuff. You've been on YouTube before. I don't need to tell you all of this. We're coming out with more stuff later. We got NFL honors later. Should be next week. Drafting our own NBA All-Star team. Yearly tradition for us on the podcast. And, of course, we're going to wrap up the Super Bowl, the NFL season for you, and a nice little bow in a couple of weeks as well. But until then, it's Super Bowl season, Cade. I'm so excited.
I'm excited, too.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be great. Ice Cream Queen's in the comments saying, let's go Rams. Hey, I'm with you on that. I no doubts there. But before we talk about the Super Bowl, we told y'all we had a special guest planned. This is a very, very special guest planned for us. Really love this guy. You may have seen him on the channel before if you've been subscribed recently, which you totally should. You totally should be, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the owner of the one and only Mark's Card Shop, Mark Gronek. Welcome to the show, sir.
Let's go. Thank you. What a wonderful intro, AJ. Cademan, how you doing, guys? It's an honor to be here. I appreciate the time with you guys. I'm excited to be chatting. So hope you guys are having a good night, and everyone in the chat, thanks for joining.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's good to have you, man. We're so happy that we're able to have you on a video for the Super Bowl, no less. Like, this ain't no regular week 7. We're so happy to have you here. Great to be here. If you guys don't know, Mark owns a card shop in Downers Grove, Illinois. We actually did a video there a little bit ago. It's an awesome place. You want to go check it out. Mark's Card Shop. Absolutely. Before we get into Super Bowl predictions, we're going to do a little bit of an interview like we always do with our special guests. So, Mark, let's go ahead and start with this. What are your favorite sports teams? Like, I'm the diehard Chicagoan and Georgia. Cademan's Wisconsin all the way. So what about you? Where do your sports loyalties lie?
Well, I got made fun of as a kid sometimes, and let me tell you why. When your dad has you following the Lakers and the Cowboys from birth, it's tough to be a kid in Chicago. So, so those were the games he got as a kid. A kid growing up in Milwaukee, he got, the Cowboys, national TV, and the Lakers. So I grew up liking those teams, and it never really changed until I'd say maybe I was a young adult, and I kind of just started to, attach to the Bears a little more and the Bulls. So, I'm more of a Chicago fan now. I've always been Cubs and Blackhawks, but
that's like,
what I mean? So I've got that right. But yeah, the Lakers and the Cowboys will always have a soft spot. That's for sure.
Yeah. You got any like specific favorite players out of those all-time favorite players? Lakers, Cowboys, any of them?
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant is one of my all-time favorites. I literally remember watching his first game with my dad in our basement.
Wow.
Yeah. Seriously, it's like burned into my memory. And it's just, I'll never forget it. We're sitting there saying, like, this guy should be a starter, like, period. He should be a starter. Little did I know, he'd have like a major impact on my life. I mean, I was a big Kobe fan. You can find his stuff all over my shop, and of course his cards as well. But Kobe Bryant for sure. Easy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Mark, we've been talking a little bit about your card shop, but how long have you, well, let's start with this. When did you know that you wanted to own a card shop?
So that didn't quite come to me too quickly. I always knew I wanted to own a business, and I always had a passion for sports. This passion for sports is since I was a kid. Owning the business, I think I really got into that in high school, watching Shark Tank and just, little Shark Tank, so that'll get you going if you have the entrepreneurial spirit. And I never could really figure it out though. So it took a while in my 20s, and maybe we could talk a little bit more about what I did before a card shop in a bit, but I really knew I wanted to own a card shop. I got back in the hobby in like 2018. And I think at that time, I really started to feel like I wish I could do something in this space. I don't know what, but I definitely knew for a fact I was opening a card shop earlier in 2021. I saw a space open, and I knew it'd be the perfect space for a card shop. So it took me a while, but we landed in that space, and I'd like to say I wanted to own a card shop forever, but it's just not the truth.
So this is a really new place then. This is like just a couple years old here.
Yeah, literally we started June 1st of 2021. So it's kind of surreal. Yeah, it's very surreal at this point to think like 8 months in, and I'm interviewing on awesome shows. I'm in this space, like people, this is what people and I associate myself with now, sports cards. And I literally couldn't have asked for a better situation. Sports, business, all day, every day.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. So like you said, you got back into the hobby of collecting cards in 2018. So how long have you actually been collecting cards for then?
So all the 90s. Like I was a kid. I grew up, I was born in 1988. I grew up in the 90s. So collecting Jordan cards, collecting Kobe cards, like Shaq, all these big stars of the 90s. That was always my thing, trading with kids in the neighborhood, looking at a Beckett and seeing what everything's priced at. I loved cards as a kid. I was even an only child, and for the longest time, I would just make games up. I'd be like rolling dice and playing games that you shouldn't even be playing with, like you're collecting cards. But I just had so much fun with my cards. I just got so much value out of them, and I got out of it like a lot of people. You go to middle school, high school, college, and I'm playing sports, and I'm passionate about sports and fantasy sports and all sorts of stuff like that. But I got back in 2018, just happened to go to the card shop on Ogden, who's now kind of a competitor, but not really. It's always community over competition. And, I just bought a box of Court Kings. I remember it's a $150 hobby box of Court Kings, which now sells for like $800-900. And that's because Luka Doncic's rookie year. So
wow, there it is.
Am I breaking out here?
No, you're all good.
Oops.
You're all good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm.
We're experiencing little technical difficulties. Little bit of technical difficulties with our man Mark, but we're all good. We're hanging in there. While he's figuring that out, everybody with us, we're doing our interview with Mark Gronek, owner of Mark's Card Shop in Downers Grove, Illinois. And we already got some people in the chat, Lightning Bauer and Ice Cream Queen, backing us up saying it is a great shop. Absolutely. And you should absolutely go check it out. So Kate, while we're waiting for Mark, as patrons of this shop, what would you say is your favorite part about going there? What are some things that make Mark's Card Shop different from every other card shop out there?
I think that Mark is always super talks to every customer, super friendly all the time, will compliment on the cards you buy, just like super affirmative, encouraging, super nice, creating a friendly atmosphere. Mark's always giving away packs and that kind of stuff, but even if he's not, it's just always a friendly atmosphere, and I think that creates a nice positivity and even like generous atmosphere for every other customer in the store. So yeah. And AJ, I know you've been in there a couple times.
Yeah, not quite as much as you, but I found out about it from Cademan in the first place. And yeah, like the moment I walked in and you introduced me to him, first thing he asked is, "What's my name? How is I doing?" And then he found out I'm a Georgia fan, and that immediately got linked to me. So like he's just a great guy, totally solid. And he's always like, I get like a card for $2 or whatever, and I got a bunch of other $1 ones. We'll make it $1 for us or something, or he'll round up for you.
Yep.
He's just a really good guy. He's just a really, really solid guy. He's got a great store. Always welcome people, introducing people to everybody. It's great. Selection's great as well from the cards that I've seen. Like I'm finding random gems where I can over there. So it's a really nice place as well. So yeah, for all of y'all, Mark, absolutely great card shop to go. And he's back and better than ever.
Technical difficulties, but hey, that's a good lesson in running a business. There's always going to be unexpected things happening. You just have to adapt. So I threw on the hotspot. We're back. Let's do this.
Boom. There we go. Lady Mark Gronek, everybody. Extraordinaire at improvising.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Yep. Well, guys, more comments on what we said when you were gone. Mark, we were just talking about a little bit about your shop and what we love it. And this kind of sums it up. Mark is great with people, very generous, always making everyone feel like a special customer.
Thank you.
And Ice Cream Queen affirms Mark is very generous.
Very kind. Yes, very kind. Thank you.
So thank you, Mark. Well, let's maybe just like 2 or 3 more questions. I don't know. Mark, you talked about how you maybe stopped collecting for a little bit, but then you got back into it. Do you have any advice for people that are trying to get back into the hobby of card collecting, or maybe even just starting?
Absolutely. And I put new collectors welcome on the front of my business, because it can be very intimidating going into a card shop, and there's so much to know. There's so many nuances to cards. I would just say, there's levels to card collecting. There's people that collect $1 million cards. There's people that find, 10-cent card that makes them happy. So don't try and be everything to everyone. Really dial into what makes you happy. What teams you like to collect, what sports you like to maybe rip a pack for. So long as you're having fun and you're focused on the moment and not the outcomes always, you can't go wrong. It's obviously there's specific channels you can dial into and things you could focus on, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. So come into the shop and we'll figure out, your spot in the hobby and where you want to be and what you want to collect. But, just anyone getting in that's new to it, just don't get overwhelmed by all the options and all the pictures on social media and all the different things there is to know and do. It's going to take time. So just, have fun, and understand it's going to take years before you even have a, solid expert, quote unquote, understanding of the card industry. I'm still learning things every day, and I'm a card shop owner. So,
Well, speaking of being a card shop owner, we got to ask, what's the best part of owning a card shop for you?
Best and worst part, you have packs around you everywhere, and no one's telling me what to do. I can literally just rip a pack, and that's that. But all kidding aside, I think it's just making an impact. Like I know people will come to my shop to have fun. I know people come to my shop to get away. I know people enjoy being in a space I've created. And just the thought of that brings so much happiness to my heart. It's amazing to see how many people will just want to come to the card shop to hang out and talk. So that's the best part. It's the people. It's interacting with people every day. And I was in sales for like 11 years, and I really didn't like what I did. Yeah, but I didn't like it. And I'm talking to people every day. So one would ask, what's different about that? Well, it is just different. Just trust me. I actually enjoy the conversations we're doing. They're not just surface level, this or that. It's something I deeply care about, but I also enjoy seeing people, making people happy. So it brings joy to me.
Beautiful. I love that. That's so good. So I think we'll probably wrap up the questions right there. So last thing before we move on to the actual Super Bowl stuff, Mark, final elevator speech for Mark's Card Shop. What do you want to say about it, man?
Well, I just think, whether you're a new collector or you're someone who's been in the hobby for 30 years, it does not matter. There's a space for you at Marks. And for me, it's like I'm always meeting new people. And that's one of the best things I could, possibly ask for as a shop owner. Meet new people, make people, put new smiles on people's faces. And really, listen, every card shop's going to have things they're good at and things that they're not great at. I'm not going to be the best at everything. So I always recommend other shops. It's, if someone's looking for something specific or this or that, it's again, it's community over competition. And so definitely check me out and then go check out all the other shops because they're all great for specific reasons. But check me out for sure. Definitely come check me out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I remember the last time we talked, you said you have a new live stream going on for people interested in buying packs. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up, AJ. I'm on an app called Network. It's spelled NTWRK. So it's a streaming app like Whatnots. There's a few out there. But basically we do rip and ships. So we'll take a pack and we'll sell the pack to someone through the app. And then they can decide, do they want to rip it on camera in front of everyone or they just want the pack shipped to their house? We're not doing team breaks right now, but we might get into that. So yeah, check us out on Network.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Gronek, owner of Mark's Card Shop, Downers Grove, Illinois. Go check it out. His link to his website is in the description. Absolutely. Thanks, Mark. You ready to get into Super Bowl stuff, man?
First off, thank you guys for bringing me on. You guys are awesome. You guys have an awesome channel. I mentioned to you guys when we were offline, you guys have a long runway ahead of you. Really great guys here, everyone. I'm sure everyone in the chat already knows that, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And yes, I'm ready to tell everyone exactly what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. Because I already know.
Let's go. Let's do it. All right. Brett D in the chat as well.
Can I get it started? Can I tell them, or am I out of?
No, please.
I'm going for it. I'm going for it.
You just hit us with it.
Bengals 34-31. Joe Burrow finals MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl MVP, Joe Burrow. There we go.
All right. Break it down for us. Why are you thinking this right here?
Well, it's going to be a close game. These teams have high-powered offenses, both of them. The Rams are nothing to be messed with on defense. They got a really strong O-line, the best in the league. But the Bengals have some sneaky weapons on defense too. Bates is safety. He's a stud. You just can't bet against Joe Burrow right now, though. Just get used to saying the name. Like Tom Brady, we said for a long time, Burrow. Just get used to saying that name because that's what you're going to be hearing for a long time. And I think McPherson, the kicker, the story's been him on top of the Burrow story. It's been McPherson. He's just continues to hit field goals as a rookie kicker. He's going to hit the game-winning field goal. They're not going to give him Finals MVP, though, because Burrow will just have too good of a game. They'll have to give it to him.
Wow, That's you go. There's the prediction.
Wow.
Riding the Bengals all the way. You don't think the Rams are going to be able to compete near the end of the game?
I mean, hey, 34-31. It'll be a great game, but it's definitely, I think Bengals are going to hoist the trophy. I love Stafford. I think, he had a rough time in Detroit for many, many years, and I respect that he hung in there. He deserves this opportunity, and it's a shame. I think he's just run into a juggernaut with the Bengals. We'll see.
Wow. There it is, everybody. Mark Gronek picks the Bengals in a game-winning field goal by Evan McPherson. Cade, let's go to you, man. What do you think? Bengals, Rams, who are you saying as our Super Bowl champions?
Yeah. Let me break it down. So, I mean, we've obviously seen, as Mark said, McPherson and Joe Burrow just have insane games. This has also been Matthew Stafford's first year with playoff win ever. And now he has 3 of them.
Yeah.
So the Rams are at home, which is a big deal. And man, this is going to be a close game, honestly, I think. But let me just give you the score. Going with Mark here. Slightly different score.
Same outcome.
Win by 4, 31-27. I think it's going to be I think the Rams will have the last possession. I think the Bengals are going to hold them. Man, I think the Bengals have some sneaky weapons in their defense, as Mark pointed out. Bates as one of them. I just don't see them being able to stop Joe Burrow. I don't care how good the Rams defensive line is. The 49ers front 7. Sorry, what am I talking about? Man, it's been a long day.
You good, dude.
They've knocked out the Titans and the Chiefs to get here. both with decent front sevens. I mean, the Chiefs isn't all the hype, but their linebacking core is decent.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
Frank
just feel
Clark,
like
Chris Jones. They
the
got
more
power.
you sack Joe Burrow, the better he's going to do. The more you put pressure on him, the better he's going to do, because if you're blitzing on him, that means at least one of his receivers is open. I know CJ Uzoma is not practicing, but he still has so many other weapons. Of course, the big three-headed monster, Jamar Chase, LSU connection, Tyler Higbee and T. Higbee and Tyler Boyd.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins.
There you go.
I don't see a way you can stop him. And if they what's the word? If they input the run game as well, like they did against the Chiefs, with Joe Mixon just every once in a while, it's going to work out great. The Bengals are going to take this one. I don't care how good the Rams defense is. They're not going to be able to stop Joe Burrow.
Dang. Back-to-back Bengals picks over here. Let's go to the comment section. Ice Cream Queen says, Rams win by a touchdown. Go Stafford. Boo Bengals. Well, so we got 1 Rams, 2 Bengals right now. I'll give mine. Look, both of these teams have been absolutely insane this year, and both of them had incredible playoff runs. The Bengals had to knock off what a lot of people thought were the best team in the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs. And meanwhile, on the other side, the Rams had to take down a team they lost to 6 straight times, the San Francisco 49ers, and finally had to get over that hump to the Super Bowl and had to have a game-winning drive just to get there. But they're here. This is basically going to be a home game for the Rams, essentially being in SoFi, full capacity in LA. I think there's definitely going to be a disparity in the fan in the seating arrangement in LA. But look, I agree with all of you guys. It's going to be one possession. It's good. One possession game. It's going to come down to the final drive. I'm totally with you guys on that. I think the Bengals are going to be able to put some pressure on Stafford for sure. Trey Hendrickson has had a crazy last few weeks through the playoffs, getting in the backfield. Meanwhile, I think Mixon's going to have a tough game. We saw what the Rams were able to do to the 49ers, arguably one of the best run teams in the entire NFL, holding both Deebo Samuel and Eli Mitchell to under 20 yards each. So I think they're going to have to rely on Joe Burrow to throw it, which, as we all know, isn't a problem for Burrow to shoulder that weight. Now, that being said, I mentioned this to Cademan in our last episode. Quarterbacks in the NFL: Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees. These are the top 4 quarterbacks with comebacks, fourth quarter comebacks in the NFL. And you know who number 5 is? It's Matthew Stafford. And he's about to add to that list, not including the 49ers one. It was tied with Johnny. Now he's outright number 5. He's going to get himself another one. Matthew Stafford's going to lead a game-winning drive. Matt Gay's going to hit a field goal to close it out. Look, Mark, I don't know if you know this, but since Stafford went to Georgia, I'm the biggest non-Rams Lions Stafford fan in the history of the NFL. So I'm a little bit biased here.
Just made the connection. I got it now. All right, I got you.
There you go. At the same time, it's going to be close. It's going to be a dogfight for sure. Ice Cream Queen's with me. She says Stafford's going to win in overtime with a touchdown. So we have, 3 overtime games in the playoffs this year, according to Ice Cream Queen. But I'm going to give it to the Rams. I'm going to give it to Stafford that he finally gets it. His first year with the Rams, he gets 4 playoff games. So we got 2 Bengals predictions, 1 Rams out of the 3 allied rivals today. So before we head out, Mark, we like to do something called our X Factor, where we give the main player this entire game is going to rely on for both teams for them to win. So let's start with you. Who's the Bengals X Factor for you? Is it Burrow? Is it their D-line? What do you think?
Joe Burrow. I mean, I got to go with Burrow. It all rests on his shoulders. I think he knows that, and he just has a confidence like he's been there for a decade. And I'm going to have to, if I'm riding the Bengals, I'm going to have to say Joe Burrow is going to be the reason they win. So,
yeah, fair enough. Cayman, what do you think? Who's the Bengals X Factor for you?
Well, for me, we know Joe Burrow is going to have an amazing game, and we know Jamar Chase is going to do his thing. So I think for me, the X Factor is linebacker Logan Wilson. And I think that he will be the one that will make the Rams not even think about running the ball. The Rams don't do a lot of running the ball anyway. No. But if they try, Logan Wilson's going to stop him from wanting to return to the run in the second half at all. He's just such a dominant force, hits hard, and he just tackles a lot. It's his thing.
Yeah, That's a good one. For me, it's gonna be Jamar Chase. Now, I don't know who Jalen Ramsey is going to line up on, because last week Higgins got 10 receptions. The week before, Jamar got over 100 yards. So it could be either one. So I think it's going to come down to how big of a game, because we know he's going to have a big game. But how big of a game exactly is Jamar Chase going to have? Is Ramsey going to lock him up? And then that's going to cause Higgins and Boyd to have bigger games instead. And like we've said all year, that LSU connection between the two of them is going to be absolutely huge. Now, for me, the Rams X factor, I think there are 4 players in this game that we know are going to do well, for sure. It's going to be Stafford, Burrow, Chase, and Kupp. Those 4 are going to go off, I think, for sure. I don't think there's any stopping them. So for the Rams, I think it comes down to Cam Akers and Sony Michel. Sony Michel ended the year so well, and then the playoffs hit, and the Rams haven't been able to run the ball effectively at all throughout the entire playoffs. I think it's going to come down to the trenches, how much time they're going to be able to kill to keep Joe Burrow and the rest of the Bengals offense off the field. Mark, what do you think? Who's the Rams X factor for you for them to win this game?
Yeah, and I do agree with the Sony Michel and Akers. I think the Rams getting Michel was a huge pickup because I mean they finally have a power run game, which they just were lacking.
Yeah.
But my X factor would have to be like Aaron Donald, Von Miller, one of the two. I mean, I get the whole thing. If Burrow's under pressure, he's going to perform better. It's a great point by Cademan, but like at the same time, it's like if Donald's in your face all day, like Donald's in your face, and it's just going to be a problem. So I'm hoping they can contain him. Like just like you mentioned with the receivers, you're not going to be able to stop him completely, but hopefully you can limit the damage. So
good point. Cade, how about you? Who's the Rams X factor for you, man?
Oh man, for me it's another linebacker. I think we got to go with Leonard Floyd.
Yeah, that's my Georgia boy right there. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't think he gets enough hype on this Rams front 7. I mean, you got AD and Von Miller get so much hype, and there's other guys too. But really, one of the guys locking this group together is Leonard Floyd, and he doesn't necessarily get all the tackles because their front 4 is so good, but nothing gets past him. He's a physical dude with some size. He's not slow either. And he will be able to take away Joe Mixon's inside game. Now, let Joe Mixon run to the outside. He might let him do that. That might be their game plan, and I wouldn't be surprised. But they will not let Joe Mixon run it up the middle on them. And a big piece of that is Leonard Floyd.
Well said. Well, let's hit up the comment section really quick. Let's see what they think. We got some more predictions. Keisha Heffron in the comment section saying, go Rams. Rams win 34-17.
Wow.
Expecting this to be a low-scoring game for Cincinnati.
That's some confidence right there.
That's interesting. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Titans game was a fluke, but, I mean, we'll see. Keisha says Vaughn and Aaron Donald are going to have a field day. The Rams X Factor is going to get the run game going early and set up that dangerous play action for Matthew Stafford. Interesting. Good point. We hadn't brought that up. Ice Cream Queen says Stafford will get MVP in the Super Bowl and the Rams will get an interception for the game. There is your predictions from the comment section. So just to recap everybody, Cayman's prediction, Jamar Chase takes home the MVP as the Bengals win 31-27. Mark Gronek giving it 34-31 Cincinnati with Evan McPherson's game-winning field goal. Joe Burrow taking home an MVP, which is just crazy if he gets a national championship, takes a year off, and then wins a Super Bowl. Absolutely insane resume. And then me, I'm going Rams 30-27 as Stafford gets another comeback to end off the season. Final question for you guys before we leave. Lightning Bauer also giving out, says the Rams are squeezing this one out. But the biggest question of all is who has the better uniforms? The Bengals are going black jerseys, white pants. Rams are going white jerseys and yellow pants to emulate their last Super Bowl championship. So we got a little bit of going back there. Kate, if you see it down there, the one with Cooper Kupp in it, that's going to be the jersey matchup. What do you think, guys? Who's got the best unis?
I like the Bengals swag. I mean, I'm going Bengals. Yeah. I don't know. The Rams jerseys just don't do it for me. I don't know.
Cade, what do you think?
AJ, I think the winning team always has the better uniforms. So in this case, I think the Bengals have the better uniforms.
I'm going for the Rams. I'm not gonna lie. The Bengals in black is really, really cool. I'm not even gonna diss that. I'm not gonna diss that. Keisha Heifer and Ice Cream Queen both saying Rams have the better jerseys. Final prediction from the comment section. Keisha saying Aaron Donald gets Super Bowl MVP. Would be crazy if we get another defensive MVP. The last one that comes at least to my mind was Von Miller winning MVP. So it'd be nuts if he gets two of them. That would be insane. But ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Super Bowl, just to remind you guys, is not this Sunday. It's next Sunday, February 13th, Super Bowl 56. I don't know how. That can't be right. That can't be right. No, that can't be right. That cannot be right. Oh my goodness, it is right. Super Bowl 56. I feel so old right now. Super Bowl 56.
Oh my goodness.
Rams technically at the Bengals, but it's in their home stadium. So who knows at this point? Mark Gronek, once again, is our special guest today, owner of Mark's Card Shop. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate having you on, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I've already, I've said my compliments, so I won't keep going with them, but I appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for inviting me on your show. I'd love to come back someday soon. And, I'll definitely be back to brag about my Bengals win. I'm fine with that. You just let me know when, all right?
we'll see about that when Stafford makes his comeback. We'll see. But hey, I know you're a basketball guy. Maybe we get you on around playoff time, maybe something like that. We'd love to have you back again.
I would love it. And even if a few months, go by without me being able to brag about the Bengals win, it's fine. We'll talk about that in, April or whenever the basketball playoffs start. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Cayman, you got anything else to say?
Washington Commanders.
I mean, it's okay.
It's weird. It's disappointing. Red Hogs was so much better.
Red Wolves would have been better, but anyway, once again, everybody, my name's AJ Herschel. Right over there, you got Mark Gronek, owner of Mark's Card Shop, joining us today, and continually going over that way is Cayman Bauer. Thank you guys for tuning into the Allied Rivals. We don't know which way we're doing. The cameras are Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time on the Allied Rivals podcast. Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Be sure to be subscribed. As always, we'll be coming out with more awesome videos as well. Adios. Have a good one, everybody.
Thank you, guys.